that I'm almost done. All right, Courtney. I'm using these Japanese brushes, Chinese brushes actually, that my dad brought back from China. I found this picture of a rose, but I'm just kind of doing it in black and white now. And I'm enjoying the feel of the brush where you can get the thicks and the thins. I haven't used these brushes as much, but I think I like them. So just doing thicks and thins to give it some style. And you really, I'm choking up on this, but traditionally you go very far away. And I'm going to repeat a story I said earlier where my teacher, my drawing teacher, which I really respected, was from Japan, and his name was Miyazaki. And he said that the first drawing lesson he had with these pencils, tradition was, I mean, with these brushes, tradition was to go collect the dew off the lotus blossoms. And here's the set Father brought me from China about 30 years ago. And they have the different heads and the ink, and then you have a shaft that you can screw them on. And finally gotten around to using them. The ink comes in a stick like this, and you put water in the little tray, which I think is made out of slate and has a little carving on there. Should have a carving of a lotus blossom. Maybe it is if I turn it right side up. There it is, right side up for you guys. Maybe it is a lotus blossom. And it looks like a hummingbird, actually, with the beak here and the wings coming out. Hard to see. And then you just scrub this until you get enough ink. I'm setting the ink down on a piece of paper because it's still got a little wetness to it. And then I'm going to come in here and do some leaves for this rose. Now that ink got a lot darker because I scrubbed it a bit more. But that's okay if I add a little more water. And then you can get the thicks and the thins coming off of this. I don't know if both of you are friends on Facebook, but some person was trying to use my name and make friends, and I don't know what they do. They probably do nefarious things. So if someone wants to friend you when I'm already a friend, don't do it. Also, I changed my password. I went to two-person authentication, which means when I log in, they send me a passcode and I have to log in and put that code in also. A lot of places are going to that double authentication, like your banks might have a picture of an animal that you picked to authenticate you a second time. So I recommend that two-person authentication. I don't know if it's called two-person or double authentication or whatever. So
yeah, my work uses that.
yeah, well, it makes sense in your personal life too. Nowadays, we give away too much information. Like Facebook knows my birthday. I actually gave him a slightly different birthday than my birthday. And then even if you put all pictures of your relatives and your grandmother and all that, then they know your mother's maiden name. And then the people will call. Like I've had people calling me lately and they're going, oh, this is an important matter I need to discuss with you. I go, what's it about? They go, well, I can't tell you that unless you give me the last four of your social security. And I'm going,
Right.
no way. And then it sounds like the same thing. I'll call the next day and they want to know, well, we just want to authenticate your birth date. Well, they get the first four and then they get your birth date the next time. And then they know what's going on with you and do all sorts of things. So, yeah, I'm just doing the leaves of the rose here. I'm just trying to balance it out. Here it is upside down. For you, it's now right side up. But if it's balanced, it should look good either upside down or right side up. That's one way to know if you're drawing or your abstract art is balanced if it looks good upside down. And I can certainly color this. If this ink dries, maybe the watercolor won't affect it. It depends upon the types of ink. I used to do felt markers a lot, but then they changed the Sharpies. I changed the formula of the felt markers, and the Sharpies, they would pick up the Sharpie. Used to always use a Sharpie to draw the outlines. And then it didn't work as well. So. So when this dries, the ink will probably even out a little more. But where it's really, where I want it to be darker, and you'll have to watch out because my hand here is getting ink on it. And then when I put it down, I get ink on the drawing here, which I don't think washing it will take it away. But if it's at the edge, it's probably okay. Or you could do something else, put another leaf in there if you had to. And I'm just trying to think about how these thick and thins can be very stylistic. And you took magazines to your mom?
Yeah, I took reading materials.
Well, that's good. Did you get to see her?
No.
No, you just had to drop them off. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll be helpful.
I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. Boring is not good.
No.
I'm just going through and on the darker areas, just going over the lines once more to make them even darker. I think traditionally in Chinese or Japanese art, you would never go over it again. You can kind of see where I go over it again, and maybe it's not as nice. I wanted just to darken some areas underneath the rose petals. And if I came in with a lighter wash, you could always fill in. I took the water and just diluted the brush. I could fill in the leaves with a lighter color also if I felt like that was nice. I'm thinking it might be a mistake if I do it before it dries far enough. So maybe I need to let it dry. And on these things too, if it's too wet, you can take like a paper towel and dab things. The cat's sitting here watching me. She likes to supervise.
Gracie,
Mm.
what you doing, Gracie?
She'll sit up on top of the recliner and watch TV with me. I'm just looking for a paper towel to dab. This one unfortunately has Mexican food on it, so we'll dab, dab, dab. And actually take away the darker parts if you want to. Even dabbing the brush before you use it. Kind of getting a feeling that this filling in with the lighter gray isn't quite as nice. It looked pretty crisp and clean before. But I think it might be okay if I dab. And so what are you working on, Eli?
I didn't pick anything, so I'm just watching today.
Oh, that's fine too. Not a problem. Is it better if I give you a little more warning? Because I didn't give you much warning.
It is.
Okay, I'll plan on giving you a couple of days at least. Sometimes I get busy and I go, wait. Should have said
Yeah,
it.
that's totally understandable.
And that's okay too, but I will give you more warning. Let's do the same thing next time. A colorful bird or a flower, and that way you have a whole week's warning.
Cool.
Now, if I want to come in and darken these lines, I better wait until this dries. You can use an hair dryer, but if you blow it when it's wet, it gets these little drips coming off and stringing, which could be a really neat effect if that's what you want. I do have a thinner brush too, which I can switch to, which I think I will do. So I'll pick a smaller brush here. That's a good kitty. That's a good kitty. That's a pretty kitty. What you doing?
Boo, what are you working on?
I'm working on the one from was it last time or the time before? No, it wasn't last time. The time before, the skirt, the
Oh,
fabric.
cool.
Oh, very good. Very good. So I'm getting the sizing out of this brush, which is like a starch. And then I can go to the ink again. I think I'll get the inker inking. I'll make this real black. Kind of fun, actually. I don't think I have any lotus blossoms around here. Lotus blossoms are the blossoms from the passion fruit plant.
Really?
Yeah. And you know passion fruit?
Mm-hmm.
They're really weird, lumpy, purpley brown, and you open them up and it's just goo and seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's just goo. It's like, ew. Used to grow them, but they took so much water. I'm just coming in with a really dark black and cleaning up the edges of these leaves. And I think the smaller brush is a little nicer than the last one. That's a crazy girl. The mockingbirds have been really happy. Wonderful weather here. How's the weather there?
It's been nice for the past couple of days. It was kind of it was kind of gloomy most of last week, but these past couple of
Yeah.
days have been beautiful.
Yeah, I can't imagine living in like Seattle where it's always overcast.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't work for me. Some people like it, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that I used to be as affected by the weather and just emotionally, but I think with the pandemic and quarantining, the weather, I definitely feel the impact of it being gloomier more.
Yeah, yeah. I think everyone gets a little bit gloomy with being kind of sequestered.
Mm-hmm.
Though I've got lots to do and I enjoy doing things, but still. We went, Pam and I went to the flower fields in Carlsbad yesterday, but it was just way too crowded. I guess since the state has opened up and people could get out and it was a beautiful day, it was like there were twice as many people as a normal summer day. It's not quite summer. Is it summer?
Spring still, I think.
Oh, yeah. So
Mhm.
it was just very, very crowded, and we decided, well, let's do something else. So, and then the people who kind of refused to wear masks, even though I believe they should.
Yeah.
And it's not wearing masks and staying away from you, it's wearing masks and getting in your face. Not wearing masks and getting in your face. And it's like, okay. I bought a couple branches of dragon fruit, which is a cactus-like plant. But the dragon fruits sell for a lot of money, and I thought, well, I'll grow some in the backyard and see if I even like eating them.
Mhm.
Got one side of the backyard that doesn't have much in it, so I think maybe I'll plant dragon fruit. Saw a special in Carlsbad. They grow these whole orchards of dragon fruit, kind of like where you would grow grapes. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So I think this darker kind of saved where I messed up on the leaves. I learn a little bit how to fix things, which helps. But you can't always fix things, especially if you don't do the pencil first. Again, really recommend the pencil first. Someone's ding-donging me. I bet you it's Pam. Hello, Pam.
Hey, Snipe Man, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. You're on speaker. Say hi to Holly and Eli.
Hi,
Hello.
Pam.
How
Hello.
you guys doing?
How you doing?
Managing.
They're hanging in there.
Good. All right, that's good to hear.
I was
Well, I'll let you get back to creating.
well. One question first. I
Yes.
was thinking of maybe coming up there, maybe after my, I don't know if my class is going to be 4 or so, bringing a couple of steaks up and we can have filet mignon for dinner.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna say no to that.
I want to say no. No, stay away. I hate steak. Okay, anyway,
What time?
it depends if my Maya class is at 4 or at 1. So I can't tell you.
All right. So sometime this afternoon. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good. And I can bring you the snapdragons. I didn't bring it.
Okay. That sounds yummy.
All right. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Happy creating.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So we'll go here and we'll go Pam Noor. And we'll send her a picture of the flower. This is Riley. He's mine.
Oh, hi, Riley.
And my friends gave him this flopping fish. You
Mm-hmm.
pop it up and it flops, and he loves it. He just uses it as a pillow.
Cute.
So sweet.
He's a good boy. That's not Gracie. Gracie's running around over here. Riley and Gracie wouldn't work well together because Riley likes to hunt cats. We had another cat stay over, and he kind of stalked him,
Oh no.
Oh, no.
stalked her, and yeah, it wasn't good. So I don't think Gracie will get along with Riley. Yeah, and if you decide just to watch, you can always just do different techniques with your pencil. You know, practice different cross hatching, just do different shadings. If you just wanted to draw an eyeball, just to practice drawing an eyeball, you could do that.
Oh, yeah.
Body parts, kind of fun.
I'm just feeling pretty low energy.
Yeah, not a problem. If this helps your energy level, that's fine. Or if it doesn't, taking a nap is good too. So I think I like these brushes.
Yeah, this was a fun, unexpected discovery.
Yeah, I found one other thing. I need to go grab it out of the bedroom. I'll go grab it really quick. It'll be a surprise for Eli.
Oh, cool.
Surprise for Eli.
Do you know what it is, Boo?
No.
Okay.
It's a surprise for you.
For me.
For you. The skirt is so freaking hard.
The skirt?
Yeah, with all the ruffles at the waist.
All the ruffles at the waist.
So here we are. Found this in the closet. Let me see if I can find a picture here. And this one here. That's Eli on the day she was born.
Ah,
Oh my God.
look at you, a newborn.
And then
Hold on. Wait. I feel like I need to see more. What is?
here's some more. Here's another one here. Here's Tom with you when you got home. I probably have to zoom. Let me pull it out of the. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't see it.
I don't think I can pull it out. Let me pull it out of here. Okay, here it is. I might have to zoom back a little bit.
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, I have that. I have a photo like that.
Okay, and then here you are. This looks like the hospital room. Just a second.
Yep.
There you are. There's Chrisley up there.
Where did you find these?
It's a photo album. It's got all sorts of Eli pictures. I don't think there's any Holly pictures though, because this is too soon. But let me see if I can find another Tom Chrisley holding it. Tom holding the baby. Here's another one. This one's a good one. Looks like Tom being the loving father.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, my dad at one Christmas, I think this is your first Christmas. This is Curtis.
Oh, other way around, Doug.
Oh, sorry, I was trying to do it the right way. And
Yeah.
my dad watching that little bomber jacket.
Yep. My eyes were so crossed.
They look very cross.
They got better. Well, look at me, Eli. You know, they're better now.
They are. It's true.
Yeah. Oh, here you are. This one's. I think you have to grow into the jacket.
Just a little, maybe.
So I got a bunch of these. I'll have to scan them,
Okay.
send them to you. There you are. It's probably one of your first baths.
Oh my God. How many? How
There's,
many pictures?
there's probably 50. Well, maybe 30.
Of my first bath.
It might be your first bath. I don't know. Maybe they bathed you in the bath in the hospital. There's Tomlin, and he was young. Young guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at how dark his hair is and his mustache.
I know.
When we were in the hospital, when Chrisley was in there the first time, me and Tom, we were walking together, and some guy pointed at us and said, "Oh, twins," because I have the beard and I have the dark hair, and he's taller than me, but we're pretty kind of the same shape.
Wow.
Doug.
Oh my gosh. Look,
I know. We're
I love
matching.
your bow tie.
Yes.
I only dropped you twice.
I mean, that was better. I got dropped a lot as a child.
Uh-oh. This one was interesting because, let me see if I can find it. I used to do these little presentations at Christmas. I don't know if I did them after that. Come play a
I
home
don't,
or something.
I don't know.
Well, these were speakers, and there were 3 speakers, and they had a Christmas carol, and I directed them.
Oh, fun.
And I think it was We Three Kings.
Mm.
And then I'd come and play my horn like that.
Yeah.
The babies. Oh, that's a pretty one.
Upside down. Yep.
That's a good shot, actually. That looks like her 70s haircut.
Mm-hmm.
There's my father.
Grandpa. Other way, Doug. Yep.
So,
Me and Grandpa.
yep.
What?
I think you are low energy.
I am. I'm low energy.
All right, this one will help with low energy. Bunnies!
Oh.
My dad used to have like 4 bunnies in his room.
Were they mini Rexes?
They're dwarf,
Oh, okay.
Dutch dwarfs. But they
Okay.
look like mini Rexes because of the spot on the nose of the one. I had a Rex that was big that looked like that. But his mattress on the floor, and they used to run around the room, and they would jump over his head. And they'd run around the room. And then one night, a bunny missed and smacked into his head and woke him up. The bunny didn't like that. This one is cute. I don't remember his name. But this one is really cute. Dad put him in a teacup.
Oh, I love bunnies.
Teacup. Oh, there's 2 bunnies across the street, and they just had a baby, and they live on the grass, and there's a bus that's parked in the driveway, and they hide under the bus, but they come out and eat, and the little baby comes out, and they're so cute. And the boy bunny was running around in circles and jumping over the girl bunny, and running around and jumping over the girl bunny, and finally they looked at each other face to face, and they looked at each other like they were going to headbutt each other, but then they just jumped up in the air and ran around. They were having such a good time.
Yeah, I know. When bunnies are so happy, it's like There's nothing. There's almost nothing cuter than like really happy bunnies.
They're very happy. I'm just hope they hide under the bus at night. We've got owls here,
Yeah.
and it's not good because the owls. There's two of them, and they're outside my window, and one's going ooh ooh, and then one goes ooh ooh, just slightly different voice. And I think it's a boy and a girl owl. Hopefully they're getting the mice because I've had some mice in my house, and it's not good. But Gracie, I got up in the morning and Gracie's sitting by my door and there's a dead mouse she's giving to me. And it's very nice when a cat gives you a mouse because that means they love you. Because they'd rather,
She's feeding you.
yeah, she's feeding me and being nice to me because I'm nice to her. So, so I think my rose is pretty, I like the darkness here and not on top. Gives it a little weight. This is right side up for you, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's my rose. I found some watercolor paper, which is good. Let me get another piece of watercolor paper. Now, they have things called Conte and color pastels. And if you haven't seen those before, which you may have, I found these. I was cleaning out that closet, and it's nice. Lots of old art supplies. And these have gotten rather expensive, and I've got them. So these color pastels, let me move this over here so you can see a little better. Let me get them out of here. There it is. They're kind of square like this, but they have sharp edges, so you can draw with the edge or you can draw with the flat. So if you went with the edge, you could do a thin.
Are these oil or are they chalk?
These are chalk pastels. They have oil pastels too. I like the chalk because you can blend them with a stump or blend them with your finger. And they work really well on watercolor paper, but you can get pastel paper. I don't even know what I'm drawing now, but my hand will tell me. And you can fill them in.
Yeah, Holly had some chalk pastels for a while.
They're really very nice. And you can get a smaller set. This set, I think, has 48. What's it say on top? 48. It's a really nice set. And then they have pastel pencils. So let me get this yellow pastel out here. And if you break them, they still work. They do break. And then you can blend colors. And you can certainly use a stump. I'm using my finger. Now, when you use your finger, you need to probably have a nice rag on the side so you can clean your finger, because if you blend it with another color, that yellow color or whatever color is still going to be on your finger. And there you are. And I really like these. I like the feel of them. You can use the side or the edge. You could sharpen them to a point if you wanted them to. And I love the way they just they can flow off here and blend and give me a nice burgundy finger. There, I went and broke it, but that's okay. And blending those in. Yeah, I should check on the bunnies this morning. They're very fun. They've been out. There's a little grassy patch. I gave them carrots, but they didn't like the carrots. They're just eating the grass and having a great time. So I guess that's what they're used to. Might not know what carrots are. And then
Carrots are also pretty sweet for bunnies.
Yeah, my bunny used to love the plum leaves off the tree. And
Ooh.
the plum leaves off the tree, and it was very happy munching. I wouldn't give her a lot because I didn't know if plum leaves were good or not. And if my bunny was a little sick, runny bunnies, I'd give her toast, in the dark toast, and the carbon helped to soothe her tummy, bunny tummy.
Mm.
So these are Faber-Castell, and they're pastel pencils. So they
I've
get,
never heard of pastel pencils before.
yeah, these are called PITT, P-I-T-T pastel. That's a, but you can take them and you, let me pick a color here, and they're in the pastel point like a pencil. They're not quite as fine as a pencil, but then you can draw with them like a pencil. And you can blend those also. Definitely a stump would come in handy at this point, but you can mix these colors in, and then they can give you a little more detail if you wanted detail, but they still work like the pastels. So pastel pencils, if you have both the square pastels, and the pastels even come in bigger sizes, then you can use the pencils to add detail if you'd like. Just kind of do some shading on the side of this. And I'm big at blending colors into other colors, even here where the red is. Now, I'm next to red and green. It's really burgundy and green. But what do you call those colors when they're on the opposite side of the color wheel?
Complimentary.
Complementary colors. And who's the artist that you think did complementary colors the most? Like oranges and blues?
Well, I know you said Van Gogh did a lot of complementary
Yes,
colors.
Van Gogh probably did the most complementary colors, but the Impressionists tend to use complementary colors. They're trying to simulate light, and complementary colors really get bright. They really make things pop. So when you're using green next to red, that's why Christmas maybe is so exciting, because it's complementary colors. And so Van Gogh used a lot of blues and oranges, yellows and yellows and purples, and different complementary colors. The one that was interesting is, well, everybody talks a bit about Van Gogh being crazy, but he used to sharpen his brushes to get those really sharp strokes with his mouth. And those old oil paints were made out of lots of bad things. Cobalt blue, zinc white, titanium, I think it was their titanium white, and a lot of them had lead in them. So I'm thinking that Van Gogh had heavy metal poisoning, kind of like a hatter. You know what they say about hatters? What's the one in Alice in Wonderland?
Mad Hatter.
Mad Hatter. And the reason Mad Hatter is because hatters went insane, because you would shape the felt by putting it in mercury. The mercury would seep into the felt and it would help you shape the hat. But getting mercury on you is really, really bad. It goes into you and it makes you go insane. Heavy metal poisoning. The Spanish conquistadors had problems with it. They used the mercury to process gold. If you take gold dust and you put mercury in it, you can push it together to make it into gold and then strain out the mercury. Well, some of the Spanish galleons had big goatskin bags of mercury that would break, and they would run up and down the deck, and the deckhands would be running in it and trying to pick it up, clean it up. And it was not good for you. So mercury is not a good thing. Dentists used to use mercury. I don't know if they still do for your fillings, but they would use a very, very small amount. But now they go to a thing called amalgam. My last dentist looked at my teeth and said, well, I'm going to remove all your fillings and put in amalgam. And I go, are they bad? And he said, no, but they have trace amounts of mercury. I said, well, if they're not bad, I'm not changing them because it was very expensive. But if they go bad, I'm glad to go to amalgam.
Mm-hmm.
We get a little bit of mercury with seafood anyway. Tuna has some. But I think tuna probably had mercury in it since
Garlic is supposed to help a lot with like processing mercury out of your body.
garlic, good, yeah. And
So that's why it's like you want to, when you eat seafood, if it has like a large amount of garlic in the dish as well, it's helpful.
interesting. Iodine's really good for radioactivity. So we have iodized salt, which helps.
Mm-hmm.
And for a while, they were saying not to eat the seafood off of Japan because of the Fukushima thing, their nuclear plant having problems.
Mm-hmm.
Even the seaweed, because I like eating seaweed. They have these different flavors of seaweed, like wasabi seaweed, and I like it, but not everybody does. But you didn't want the Japanese seaweed for a while. And even in Japan, near that Fukushima region, they told you not to drink the milk because the radiation settles on the grass and the cows eat the grass and gets in the milk. So I'm just doing a bunch of colors here, doing a little more abstract. It's almost a rose. So just playing with that. And these are the pastel pencils. I need to get a sharpener for them. But I'm just doing areas of color. Like to do odd numbers.
It looks really good.
It's fun. It's fun. I'm pretty good at balance and dealing with colors. If I put some of that dark blue there, I need to put some down here to balance it out. Sometimes I think of threes like 1, 2, 3. And trying to do a flow where it goes around and then comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Move your eyes around. Your eyes like to flow. If you do something where it just hits the edge, leaving space around it to make it flow around, then your eye doesn't like it as much. Now you could do it on purpose to be jarring or not. I like the way they squeak. They're really weird. And my finger even squeaks a little almost in there. Yeah, I need to sharpen this one. I don't know where my pencil sharpener is right now, but I'll get one out for next time. I think I'll get a little tray with all my accoutrement stuff. Where's Squeaky? And then if you put complementary colors next to each other, the blues, the purples up there, I can go with a yellowish color. It'll bring this yellow out too. And you can certainly blend colors. Holly, let me see what you're doing.
Okay. Just 1 second.
I don't know if you remember my bunny ranger. He was black and white. He was a broken Rex. had spots.
I might have. Did you have him when I was really little?
Yeah.
There's a couple pictures of me when I was like 3, like 2 or 3, next to a bunny that looked like that.
Yeah, it was probably Ranger. He was a good boy. And
Here's what mine looks like. Not to interrupt the ranger story.
oh, that's very nice. I have to tell you a little grandma story before you go.
Yeah.
So little grandma came down, she was visiting, and she had this pink and white shirt. And it looked like there were little flowers all over the shirt. But I looked at it closely and I go, Grandma, what are all those people doing on your shirt? And her eyes were bad. She had cataracts and she couldn't really see. And I feel a little bad about it because she got out a magnifying glass. And it was this nice pink shirt, but all the people were doing Kama Sutra sexual positions all over the shirt. They were only about maybe a half an inch tall, but there were all the different positions.
Oh, wow.
And I was going, what the heck's going on? She looked at it and it was her favorite shirt, but she never wore it again. She thought they were flowers and I felt bad. I felt really bad, but it was, she needed to know that she was going to
Yeah.
everywhere with people doing all these things on her shirt. So I don't know where she got it from, probably India or something. It was really it was funny, but sad.
That is sad.
And little grandma wasn't shaken up by much, but that bothered her.
Yeah. I mean, I would be very bothered if I thought my favorite shirt was a flower print and then I realized it wasn't.
Yeah. I once got,
Especially from my grandson.
Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah. I once had a tie and I didn't really realize. I looked really close and it just said F, that word all over the top, but it was very small. I still have it. I like it, but I don't wear it anywhere. But I thought it was funny.
Yeah. Well, it's 1.
What's that?
It's 1 o'clock.
Okay, yeah, it's time to go.
I really am enjoying watching you just do your color work.
Yeah.
It's fun, and with this, I'm not really thinking, and I like it when I don't think. I think that's the joy of it. Of course, I just made my hair blue by rubbing it with my hand, but yeah, it's fun. And then if it turns out well, that's fine. I went saw a Picasso exhibit in the Guggenheim in New York. That's that round one.
Mm-hmm.
And Picasso just promoted himself well because I didn't like any of them. I mean, this is as good, if not better. And so, like, how come I'm not making millions of dollars? It's just the way you promote yourself sometimes.
Mm.
The problem with the Guggenheim is I didn't realize it. It's like 6 stories tall and it's a spiral. So I walked up and looked at all the exhibits while I was young at the time.
Uh-huh.
At the top, the elevator, everybody was coming up and nobody was going down. And I'm going, well, why is that? Because you go up the elevator and you walk down the whole exhibit, looking all the pictures, and you don't have to work. It's walking downhill the whole time.
Mm.
That was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, and it makes sense. But I walked all the way up and took the elevator.
Yeah.
So I was absolutely opposite. So,
Oh no.
Gotcha.
all right, I'm going to let you.
Well, if I go there now I'll know.
Yeah. And then somebody put an extension on it. It was this big round spiral thing, and they put this square box behind it. And that architect I don't like because he made it look like a toilet.
No.
And everybody calls it the toilet, that extension. So it was just not matching Frank Lloyd Wright's ideas. Should have been 2 or 3 spirally buildings. but who knows? All right, I'm going to let you go.
All right. Bye. Good luck. Thanks for
Bye.
sharing the pictures.
If you ever need to call me, I'm available.
Okay.
Thanks.
I like
Love
your
you.
glasses. I like your glasses shirt, Eli.
Oh, thanks.
And Holly's shirt could almost say glass.
Yeah, it could almost. It has three of the letters.
All right, you take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.